What's up, guys? How y'all doing today? So check it, homies. I've got something that we're going to be doing. I'm a really big fan of deep diving artists that I find very interesting to me. And Taylor Swift recently has been one of those people who I've been like very surprised by her history and some of the documentary stuff that we've seen. And then now like seeing all the tours that she's been doing and like how massive the scale of her production has become, but also how humble and down to earth that she is as an artist. That interests me. And I always love finding out how people got to where they are. So starting today and right freaking now on this video that you're watching, we're going to start a deep dive, homies. And I don't do things maybe how other people do. I really have no idea how other people do these things, but I like to do things chronologically. And so what we're going to do together, anybody that watches this video and watches all the rest of them from here, I don't know how many of these will end up on YouTube and how many of them will end up on Patreon, but I can tell you this, they will all be on Patreon at the very least, and if they don't get up on YouTube, then I don't know. But some of them are probably going to get blocked for sure, because we're going to do full concerts. How we're going to do this is first ever performance, and the earliest one that I could find, there's like two that are really earlier than this. We might grab those as well too and watch them later, but this is her first like televised performance, and I think it's her with Tim McGraw. I'm not 100% sure, and I honestly have not really ever listened to any Tim McGraw songs, even though I'm from Nashville, and I think that's a cardinal sin here. So, in saying that, this is one of her first performances that I've seen on YouTube. If anybody has anything older that you can send me a link to, DM it to me. Feel free, 1000% DM me a link to it, because I am looking for it. So please, that would help me out if you do have anything older than that. Let me know. But what we're going to do is we're going to do this the same way that I've been doing like bands like 1OK Rock, BTS, freaking anybody that we can get in touch and a hold of their older stuff. We've been doing this with Baby Metal. We've been doing this with Bandmade. So we're going to be doing this with Taylor Swift now as well too. I really want to see this and get a full idea of like how did she become this massive global icon that she is. So in saying that, let's get freaking started. This is the first one that I found, and like I said, if you do have an older one, send it to me, and we'll be doing that one as well too. We're going to go through her older stuff. We're going to get to her first album, and from her first album onward to where we're at now. That's what we're working towards. So if anybody wants to help me out, if you guys have a guide, if y'all have like a Google Sheets or anything like that we can go through videos in order and stuff, that would be helpful. Any of that information at all, totally here for it, homies. We're going through the whole freaking thing. Let's do this together. Boom! And then checking this one out. If this can end up on YouTube, I hope it does. That way maybe we can get like a broader audience of people to help us figure out like the entire story chronologically. But if it only ends up on Patreon too, I'm okay with that, because I feel like we've got a lot of really good people here as well, and we can figure this out together. But here we go. Taylor Swift, Tim McGraw. This set her at age 15. And for like a good idea of reference for me, I did my first vocal recital at, I think I was 16 years old. Did my first ever vocal recital, and it was in front of maybe 100 and something parents and other children and stuff. And I was terrified. I was freaking terrified. But here we go. This is her first televised performance. So I'm guessing she's got a lot before this. Beautiful guitar.
Said the way my blue eyes shined, put those Georgia stars to shame that night. I said that's a lie. Just a boy in a Chevy truck that had a tendency of getting stuck on back roads at night, and I was right there beside him all summer long. And then the time we woke up to find out summer gone. But when you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think my favorite song, the one we danced to all night long. The moon like a spotlight on the lake. When you think happiness, I hope you think that little black dress. Think of my head on your chest and my old faded blue jeans. When you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think of me.
Okay, so first of all, I thought this was with Tim McGraw, but this is the song Tim McGraw. I don't know anything, dude. But also, just want to throw this out there. So her voice here, I think one thing that's cool about her, even at 15, she didn't have like this nervous shakiness in her voice. She was hitting these notes with like really accurate confidence too. So I think that's a really big important thing to note about her, even all the way back then at the age of 15, which is freaking awesome, man. That's very cool that she's got that confidence in this stage. So like, how many times has she sang before this is the real question.
September saw a month of tears, and thanking God that you weren't here to see me like that. But just beneath my bed,
Oh, no.
there's a letter that you never read 3 summers back. Hard not to find it all a little bittersweet. Blue jeans when you think McGraw. I hope you're thinking me.
And you can really hear her country accent in there, the way that she just said me. And like, there's a lot of things, I think because I grew up here, I don't really hear them too often, but whenever I hear it in music, it's a lot more apparent, you know? She's definitely got that like very thick country accent.
And I'm back for the first time since then. Standing on your street, and there's a letter left on your doorstep, and the first thing that you'll read.
Dang, even this is good at storytelling.
Think Tim McGraw. I hope you think my favorite song, and when you turn Yahoo Music on,
Yahoo Music?
I hope it takes you back to that place.
Yes!
You think happiness. I hope you think that little black dress. Think of my head on your chest, and the old faded blue jeans when you think Tim McGraw. Think of me.
I wonder why it's cutting out like this in this video. This is all we got, homies. I don't know.
You said the way my blue eyes shined, put those Georgia stars to shame that night. I said that's a lie.
I mean, I am impressed with so many different things on this video, like her playing guitar the way that she did. It was so clean and so effortless. Her doing like her notes that she was hitting, especially those like higher power notes at the starting of some of these runs that she was doing, very clean and again effortless sounding. Like she has such a solid voice and such a talent that you could even hear back then. Like there's a lot of notes that she was hitting where I was like, okay, yeah, I could hear where it's going. And it's cool to see that, man. And it's cool to see that stage confidence that she had there in that particular moment. Again, 15 years old. That's freaking nuts. And especially knowing where she's grown into. I feel like she has probably I don't feel like you ever can get to a place where she's at right now without having like identity crisis that she's probably had to deal with by herself. There's so many ups and downs in her career that she's probably had to deal with, and a lot of things that like trials and tribulations that she's had to work on by herself to get to the point where she's at right now, where she is such a candid, such a carefree seeming. And even though like I'm pretty sure, I mean, like in a lot of her lyrics, she talks about how she's kind of her own worst enemy, a lot of things, and like how she can do it with a broken heart, kind of, you know what I mean? And so I feel like there's a lot of work that's gone into the Taylor that we know now, and I'm really interested in seeing how that happened. So in saying all that stuff, if you guys are down for the journey, let's freaking do this together. I'm going to be posting, again, album reactions, concert reactions, performances that we get and stuff like that, and just little pieces along the way that help us discover how she became this that she is now. And I freaking love doing things like this with artists that I think are worthy of doing that too. So in saying all that, let's freaking get into it, homies. I hope y'all are having a blessed day or night, whatever time it is you're watching this. Spread some positivity out there. Be kind to each other. And if anybody does need anything at all of my socials are at John Reeves Live. Send me a message, and I will catch y'all then. Freaking toodles. Boom.